Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. 'Twas on the field of Monte del Rey, away Santillana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Away Santillana. Now we are ready to head for the Hornway. Roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored to be rollicking randy dandy oh. Heave a Paul or heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. No, desk, I am not late. You are just early. But anyway, welcome one and all to the live stream. No, I'm not late. Do you see that schedule that was helpful on there? I was only 2 minutes late. I was here early for last week. Welcome, Jane. Welcome, Des. I was not late. Lies and slander is had here. Is chat really not working again? I don't know why I can't get this figured out. Alright. No. Now it's just a matter of pride at this point. I shall not. I will not. Isn't that always the case? It's like, the more you push, the less I will, the less I'll actually do it. Also, why isn't this working? Why? Come on. It's SpongeBob. Come on. Really? It's not letting me do things? Oh, there it is. Copy. And there we go. Not nearly as good as that's what I used to have, but Streamlabs refuses to work with me. So welcome, Emma. Well, the apocalypse is starting exactly. Oh, man. There we go. Why will the chat never work as advertised? Anyway, my technical issues aside, welcome one and all. It's so good to see you all back here. And let's see if we can have a good time. Man, that font is so hard to read. Oh man, ain't that the truth? That, or I should say, that's a mood. All right. So where do we leave off? Oh yes, I didn't finish the last chapter. Me not finishing the last chapter exactly as planned, because I definitely plan out how these things will go. Yep. Before we get into that, how's everyone doing this fine evening? I know we all missed each other last week, but hey, that's in the past. That's in the past, and let's have a brighter future. Or shall I just finish off this chapter? Wait, when? Oh yeah, that's why I didn't stop. It had like 2 more sections actually. Oh man. Well, at least there's no Luna. Oh no. I'm just realizing the main 6 is in the next chapter, and I didn't prepare at all. This is going to be fun. People being in the 100, like, let's say making peace at the start start a war, and then stop it in season 2, and then make it start again. I've never watched The 100. I heard it's really good. I'm not a big TV watcher anymore, actually. I I just mainly stick to YouTube as just my main uh, as my main source of entertainment. I don't know why. It's I think it's just because there's just too many commercials on TV. And even I know it's through Netflix actually, not TV. But even still, I don't know. It's just there's something about YouTube that makes it easier to watch than having to get on Netflix. Like, I can't explain this to anyone else in my family either, because I am the master collector for all of my family's movies. Over like 4 terabytes of movies sitting in this wee little case of a computer of mine. But all in all, I've probably watched like maybe 40, 40 of them, but not even after I've gotten it. I just don't watch things anymore. I just am too busy. Also, I know I haven't been editing anything that I've been making. Oh, okay. Name out Jane. I know deceiving usually take a long time, chat, meaning the change the name. Oh, okay. What should I call you instead? Robinson? Uh, uh, get back to me on what I should call you, because I've made nicknames for pretty much everyone in chat. So as soon as I find out nickname, I will try remember it. Although no guarantees either, because I have a terrible memory, as can be attested by the constant changing voices in every chapter that I make. Sloth, welcome Sloth to the live stream. All right, now that we got a bunch of people in here, shall we get started? I believe we shall. Yeah. Alright then. No problem. I want to make sure everyone's having a good time. So, let us. Welcome, demo. Chill out, the apocalypse is not coming. You're all gonna die. Oh man, that's pretty much everyone at the start of this year, wasn't it? Or no, that was everyone just like a couple months ago. The apocalypse is here. What are you talking about, Demo? Don't you know I'm never drunk on these streams. I am a sober little lad who drinks plenty of agua. Ah, delicious agua. And hopefully I brought plenty enough this time. I ran out last time. Alrighty then. Okay, let's do something that has been a while in coming. You're never drunk, just extremely buzzed. I mean, that's accurate. So, one of these days, you're just going to, it's like one of you might meet me at a convention at one of these days. You're like, it's the drunk dude. I'm like, I'll just carry a flask. That will just be part of my con outfit now, is just carrying a flask of water. Or, sorry, of agua. Because I'm never drunk, just buzzed. I have uncovered your secrets. There's nowhere to hide. And welcome, V. Lies and slander. I am never drunk. I just might be a little tipsy. And that's a huge difference. Also, pizza is delicious, even when it's. I don't know where that's coming from, but I feel like it's a pizza night tonight, and I'm definitely going to have some after stream, which is weird because I've been working in a pizza place for like the last 3 years. So you think I'd be sick of it now, but it's just so versatile, even if I get the same thing every time. But anyway, enough about pizza. You drink irradiated alcohol. Panic! Yes. Although, which is the worst poison? Radiation or the alcohol? These are the questions that we must be asking ourselves. Because it just seems like everyone in the Fallout universe is just always drunk, or at least the majority of people seem to always be drunk. Maybe it's just the smart ones that are always drunk. That's it. That's where it's at. Also, I'm not. You're getting me into a tangent already. We're only 15 minutes in, but, and I've probably talked about this on stream already. But what the heck is the deal with Fallout? 200 years, and they still can't build nice settlements, or like restart infrastructure for the wasteland. Why does it still look like a wasteland? Can't they just go to Canada? Oh, I know they annexed Canada. Where does the rest of the world look like? These are the questions that keep me up at night. Because I just want to know more lore, but there's no lore to be had, which makes me sad. Okay, you're gonna actually start now, so let's get on with it. Man, you guys get me into a tangent way too early. Time to get my bunker ready. Yep. Oh yeah, that reminds me so much of Idle. Would Idle be a question for V? Would Idle be happy or sad that if alcohol were to suddenly vanish? I know he was skeptical of it at first and only partook in it to fit in, but now like he's participated in the tradition of so long. Has it moved more into a habit? Because like because that's the thing is that like he started doing it and he was concerned about how many celebrations of the Royal Guard involves the consumption of alcohol, and he was worried for his wallet. but at this point, is he just like, all right, let's celebrate, get drunk? I never played Fallout myself, and I want to get Fallout 4 eventually. But right now I'm going through a Minecraft kick, so there's that. Yeah, I want to play Fallout 4, although, like, it's so hard to get me into a game, you know? Like, I'm not a gamer. I like to watch people play games, but I don't like playing them myself, mostly just because don't, I just kind of don't have that reaction time. I'm more interested in the lore of things, although playing it looks to be really fun. So I might actually just get it eventually. But right now, Minecraft modded Minecraft is taking up all my time. Really, let me guess. All Star, get Fallout New Vegas first, then Fallout 3, and then Fallout 4. As soon as a cat touches you, you're dead. Oh, yep, that's true. Those evil little buggers, which is which is unfair. Cats are adorable. I've never owned a cat or a dog, although my family's has had a couple of dogs. Never. My sister did own cats, and they were adorable, but I've never myself owned a pet, which is weird now that I think about it. Although I guess the family family dog was my pet. And now I just kind of I also kind of just adopt the family pets that my family already has too. Fallout 4 is a good game, but it's not a good Fallout game, if you get me. I get you. I get you. We do not talk about the Forgotten Child, Fallout 76. Oh yeah, I heard 76 was a great game. I, you know, to be honest, I might buy that before Fallout 4. Hello, objectively wrong person. I love the comments right. Jumping a lot to get away. Heresy. Oh no, we have heresy in the chat. Yeah, to be honest, for the longest time, I misread heresy uh, as hearsay. I don't ask me why, but I couldn't connect the dots. I'm like, it's just different ways to pronounce the same word. Like another thing that I found out recently, for those who follow the artist gallery, I didn't know that I didn't know the difference between corral and choral. It's just an R, just in the middle of it, an extra R, and I had no idea. I actually thought I was going to make a image about corralling things, but the prompt was for choral, so that's how it became corralling choral. You know, Todd Howard is Todd Howard is just doing his best to contain an evil entity within Skyrim, and we all must pray that he does not make it to Fallout 76, or he does not make it out of the Fallout games, uh, or else he will destroy the entire universe just by basking in his presence alone. It just works. Much like these streams, they just work. Fallout is Fallout, and it's wonderful. Like, I love talking about stuff like this because it's so good. I love to hear people's opinions on it. I just love watching all the lore and the hidden secrets and just like lore talking with people. Yo, Fallout, but it's My Little Pony. I mean, exactly. Some good stuff. I actually own all of Project Horizons. It's like 9 volumes. It like takes up a whole shelf. It's massive. I forgot how huge it was. Maybe I might make my way through it again one of these days. The first time took like 5 years, so I might go through it again eventually. But yeah, I got Fallout Equestria and Project Horizons and Duck and Cover, which I've never read. Same with Murky Number 7. I've never read either of those, but I didn't want to miss out on a printing because I've missed out on so many. My little Fallout. Na, 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 na. My little Fallout, my little Fallout. Ah! Okay. Oh, here's a question for you. You can either pull from Fallout Equestria and its various spin-offs, or from the Fallout games in general. I don't care which. Which Fallout character are you the most like? Or that you agree with the most? Oh yeah, yeah, Emma. Fallout Equestria, great book. So many spin-offs. So just so many. Uh, if YouTube would allow for pictures in the chat, you'd probably just be spammed by just links and a bunch of other things. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that I wanted. There's so many characters in Fallout. Uh, oh man, what is his name? I'm gonna just pull from like the Fallout Equestria universe, just because I'm To be honest, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm more of a Calamity? Although Lacune was a very interesting character to read. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. And to be honest, I didn't even realize her name was pronounced Lacune uh, until I attended a panel uh, with Somber uh, at Everfree Northwest a couple of years ago. I just always pronounce it Lucane. So when someone's like Lacune, I'm like, who? Been misreading the entire thing wrong the entire time. Oh no, she's more scary than with the minigun. Pinkie Pie's watching you forever. She basically turns into Big Brother, but she can actually predict the future and just gets high on what mentats, which what's the Fallout equivalent of mentats? I can't remember. The animated shorts are really good. Halo, Buds, My Little Pony. There's a lot of good stuff. Desk, that's not a Fallout character. That's a Pokemon character, it looks like. I don't think that counts. I hope you make a character that is more or less our drunken narrator in Pokemon. Yes. Oh, that'd be so hilarious. I'm just like in the drunk tank. Like, I'm not drunk. Yes, you are. No, seriously, I'm not. Or why is that pony? Why is that pony constantly dictating every action around him? We don't know. We believe he's drunk, but we don't have enough evidence to bring him in. That's like one of the two cameos. That would be amazing. Versus Pinkie Pie, but we both have mini nukes. Oh no. Oh man, just imagine just like oh man, not a radio DJ, but maybe like idle commenting on like oh why are ponies too lazy to read books themselves? Why don't ponies read books themselves? Why do they want someone else to tell them how a book is read? And it's just like the new technology is just audiobooks. Oh, there's so many speculations, and it's wonderful. Okay, another thing that I've been trying to decide upon. Another thing that I'm trying to decide upon for this stream is whether or not chapter 61 or yeah, chapter 61 and chapter 62 uh, are available commenting, and I will continue to call them chapter 61 and 62. Uh, V can't do no chapter 62 and chapter 60. No, it's chapter 60 and chapter 61. I'm curious about whether or not I should include those. And yes, I'm calling them that because V miscounted. A vignette is not a chapter. Or else I'll have to go back and re-edit it to say chapter 1 vignette 1 clandestine opportunities. Vignette, not chapter. Unless we're just going to skip from chapter 60 to 60. We're going to go 59 and then just go to chapter 61. Vignettes are not they're not pronounced as chapters. They're just known as vignettes. Desk, I will I'm not wrong on this. I have looked up what a vignette is. It doesn't classify it as a full chapter. There'll be two chapter 62s. Exactly. I'm in English, so I outrank you. You're wrong. Two chapter 62s. That won't be confusing at all. Let's do it. I don't know. It just might be funny for the disconcerts. Like, there is no chapter 60. There is no chapter 60. There is no chapter 60 within the server. Here we are safe. Here we are free. Can you tell I've been in an Avatar kick lately? Not a Fallout kick. I've been doing more Fallout references than Avatar. Oh, man. An orange gets you drunk. Same. I have not read Bros in Equestria. It's on my to-read list. And I will eventually get to it. Although my to-read list is like 600 stories long. Yeah, I know I need to whittle it down. No, I won't. But no, I won't do it. But no, I still firmly believe that... And plus, it makes more sense, like, thematically. Is like, chapter 60, it's a nice, even start. It's a nice, even number to start this saga on with it. And then chapter 61's where things go screwy. Have a good night, Emma. We'll see you next time. Not even talking about the actual live stream. This is just something that just happens. But seriously, it's chapter 62 when I get to it, it'll be Changeling of the Guard, written by V Drake 77, narrated by Equinox 3141. Chapter 61, chapter 62. It's just going to be read like that because V can't get his order numbering right. You brought this on yourself, V. And you can't stop me. Though, to be honest, this is what you get for not labeling chapters yourself. For letting me label the chapter numbers instead of yourself. Mwahaha. Or are you so drunk that your mind can't comprehend what worse you see before you plus love your drunken chuckles? You mean I brought it upon him naming it chapter 62. Did you do it to spite me, Desk? I have a feeling you did. I have a feeling you did it just to spite me. Because I called it out on chapter 61, and then... I knew it! I knew it! It's all a conspiracy, see? Everyone's plotting against me. I'm not wrong. Unless you want me to go back and re-edit a chapter that is already posted just so it is correct. Oh no, I have to redo every single chapter, which means which means I'm going to be so far behind on updating those chapters that I can't do future chapters. I see your game plan, and I'm not doing it. But so it's just going to be chapter 61, chapter 62. That is going to be how it's worded because that's how the chapters are written. You're right. You're right. I need to take another swig of a good old agua. But it's just going to be... chapter 62 won't even be named. It'll just be called chapter 61. I'm just going to completely gloss over all the comments. All right, chapter 61. Because it's officially chapter 61 according to my count. And my count's the most... I can't even say that with a straight face. Alright, here we go. Ponyville, Your Highness? I tilted my head, not entirely sure I understood the order. Yes, I'm planning on making a visit and spending some time with Twilight. I think she's been stressed about her position there. Things seem to have been... Princess Celestia hesitated, looking for a delicate way to express what was known to all of Canterlot. Excitable. All Tartarus broke loose, I acknowledged. And she made her friends nearly state their own excitement when she first met Zakora. and she and her friends nearly started their own excitement when she met her first zebra. You're wrong and your count is wrong. Your count that you did while drunk. I mean, I may be always drunk, but I'm not that always drunk. If you catch my drift. The rhyming is unusual, I admitted. I was unaware there was one living in Ponyville. Everfree, actually. Everfree, actually. I stared. I see. Within the safer section, it seems, but I'd like to make sure there's no problems preventing her from leaving. Curses are no laughing matter, just make sure she knows that the Crown will offer support if she needs it. If we aren't providing a presence monitoring the Everfree, then I feel we should reward those who do. Doc says he's always drunk. Someone clip that. You're always drunk, yet still sober enough to read. Better. Thing is, Demo, is that I can't read. That is my secret, is that I can't read. I just fake it enough that people think I'm actually making sense when I'm not. That is part and parcel. My whole plan is to trick everyone into thinking that I can actually do something. And then when it turns out they find out that I can't, I'll be like, you followed me all this time and you didn't realize I can't even read? Illiterate. It's me, illiterate MC. Oh, man. Ah, okay. Oh, gotcha. You can't wait, but you've done at least 37 chapters. Yep. Well, I mean, I'm on chapter 42 right now. I'm over halfway there. I just have a lot of backup, to be honest. I mean, there's only 4 chapters unedited, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I've done 41 and a half chapters, or 3/4. Editing's just hard, okay? It's just so bad. It's hard enough listening to myself for 2 hours, but then I have to do it again. I really need to hire an editor, but I don't have the money to, so I'm too much of a perfectionist to just not do it. So eventually I will edit those chapters that I have read previously. It's just a point of finding time to do it. So we shall see. We shall see. I shall inquire with the expert. I promised. I shall inquire with the expert, I promised. Dank Woods was now the foremost authority on the, on Dank Woods. I promised. Dank Woods. Dank Woods was now the foremost authority on Everfree, to the point where even Celestia herself would discuss any matters on the subject with him. He had a focus born of tragedy, but I found him far more relatable now. He, like myself, knew failure, and was determined to prevent it from happening to another. But that is not your primary instruction. I want you to explore the town. I'd like you to prepare for any further disasters, and I want to know how to recommend Twilight and I relax on my... And I want to know how to recommend Twilight... Ah, okay. It just didn't sound right. But that is not your primary instruction. I want you to explore the town. I'd like to prepare... Ah, my mic. Dank Woods. No, my mic. Why are you in such a hittable place when I'm... Well, I'm acting like a monkey in front of it. Why are you so hittable? Why are you so unfortunately hittable, my beautiful microphone? But that is not your primary instruction. I want you to explore the town. I'd like to prepare for any further disasters, and I want to know how to recommend Twilight and I relax on my trip to Ponyville. Your Highness? I'm ordering you to provide reconnaissance of the various eateries and locations within town. Get a feel for it and the inhabitants. And it would ensure that Princess Celestia already knew what she was doing when she came for her visit. Twilight would be relaxed by the existence of an itinerary. And it would ensure that Princess Celestia already knew what she was doing when she came for her visit. Twilight would be relaxed by the existence of an itinerary and the entire thing being out of her hooves. Princess Celestia, as always, was brilliant. I shall see it done, Princess. Wonderful. Your leave. Your leave. More vacation time for poor Idle. Wonderful. Wonderful. Your train leaves first thing in the morning. Brilliant, yet cruel. Every day my respect for her grows. Surely this was another facet of my punishment. I just love the... We need more train things with Idle. It's just too funny. I don't know why, but maybe we should collect all the times the narrator does dumb drunk stuff, then make an animation. That animation would be like, what is it, like 3 days long. There's so many dumb things I've done on stream. That I've even lost count. And if I've even lost, like, I know people is like, oh, do a clip show. I've had people ask me like, oh, clip out your favorite things from it and then upload it as like a highlights reel. But then I would just be uploading the entire stream if that was the case. The bloop episodes. Exactly. Does that mean does that mean your streams are just comedy shows? Well, what was it? Failure is the height of comedy or something like that. Me failing to read for 2 hours must be the height of comedy. Because you can clearly see that I have almost been speaking for almost an hour, and I'm not even finished with the chapter I didn't even finish last time. Comedy of errors because you're wrong. So, what are you doing for your anniversary? Lieutenant, no, just Shining Armor asked, taking notes from yet another military manual on monsters. It was terribly difficult to keep straight when the two of us were to ignore protocol. Lieutenant, no, just Shining. Well, I mean, you're doing better than most comedies. I am here to entertain. No, 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 no. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you wait for. Never actually watched that movie. I love the music, though. I have the movie, and I still haven't seen it yet. I think it's my sister's, but... Oh, that opening song. Especially, have you listened to, like, the remix of The Greatest Show by Panic at the Disco, like the reimagined soundtrack? Ah, so good. I have so many ideas for it. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see, getting closer? Can't you feel when you feel the feeling taking over? It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. Ah, so good. A drunk guy doing dumb drunken stuff while singing out of tone. And now we are ready to head for the horn. Way, hey, roll and go. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy of Tea. The wind blew hard about it down. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Hooah! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. 10 out of 10 best comedy, says the sun. Nice. Oh man, something that I've recently been listening to like the last couple of weeks are sea shanties. Oh my gosh, they're like the most catchy songs ever, and they're so good. Those comedies talk about stuff, about the stuff date who they have done when we get to watch it. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of dated. Yeah, it's true. But sea shanties, very on topic. But sea shanties are amazing. I highly recommend listening to the Longest Johns. They are, they're an amazing band, and I have found them from, like, they did a series where they just went into Sea of Thieves and just sang sea shanties just randomly out in the world, and it was beautiful. Are you planning on doing another story after this one's done? Actually, yes. I actually am, Z. The story that I'm planning on doing, either when I get more time or after this story is done, is The Village Called Respite, written by Carapace. Because I've already started that, but I never finished it because I just ran out of time to do it. Yes, V listens to the Longest Johns, yeah, too. Woo! That is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, it's so good. But yes, that is my plan, is for respite after my ears are still bleeding, says some random newspaper company. Who reads newspapers anymore? I will try my best. Like, much like with this story, I will try my best. The reason why Respite didn't work out too well is that I wasn't doing live streams for it, much like I'm doing live streams for Changeling of the Guard. Because of that, I had no one to call me out on stuff. Be like, hey, you gotta read the chapter. You haven't done a stream in like 2 months. Thing is that I can't do this in my alone time because I just get too bored way too easily. That is something that is a major flaw, is that I get bored way too easily. Probably the reason why I can't edit on stream, because I just have to mainly be quiet for that. It makes for good ransom notes. Oh gosh. but yeah, that's my plan, and it's going to be in a stream format, much like Changeling of the Guard is. Although, do we ever suspect that Changeling of the Guard will ever end? At this point, it's just going to keep on going, and it's going to be wonderful, and we're just going to listen to it for eternity. And it's going to be amazing. No. No, Desk. Your story is at best the like 7th place to be read, because I need to read Respite, I need to read Small Pony Book, I need to read Deathly Tired Princess. I don't have a dog, Sloth. How you get my dog when I don't have one? If it ends, I will kidnap V Drake and make him write more. Why didn't we do that to Carapace? He could have written so much more horse words, and or more of the Percy Jackson Harry Potter crossover that was happening. Where's that? Where's that, Carapace? We want some more for the good of the fandom. At this point, isn't Changeling of the Guard surpassing Fallout Equestria in terms of length. Lieutenant, no, just Shining Armor asked, taking notes from yet another military manual on monsters. It was terribly difficult to keep straight when the two of us were to ignore protocol. I sighed, looking up from the guide to Clay and various muds that Maud had sent me as a gift in her last missive. My what? I had been distracted again. I needed to pack a small bag for my trip, and I had a theory that if I could distract myself, the train could not kill me. Watch your tongue, that be hearsay you're speaking. I hate to. Test. Funny thing is that I started doing. Is that the story behind me doing Changeling of the Guard and doing an audiobook for it was because I was listening to audiobooks for other stories, and I'm like, they're great and all, but I want one for this story that I'm reading because I couldn't read while I was at work, but I could listen to music. So I was listening to audiobooks. And so what I ended up doing was I'm like, okay, there's no one's doing it. Oh, and I found a text-to-speech thing. And it's like, okay, I'll try this out. And I'm like, this isn't that good. So then I'm like, should I do it? Should I not? I have a microphone that I haven't been using in years. Should I? I don't even know what I would do. All right, let's just do this thing. And then I'm like, hey V, can I do Changeling of the Guard? Sure. Yay! Then the first chapter got produced. And it took me like 2 months to get the next chapter out. And then 2 months after that to get the third chapter out. And then I started streaming it so I could get chapters out more often. No one talks crap about Little Pip's advertising. Oh. What would Idle be like if he was in Fallout Equestria? Because I've seen stories with changelings in the world of Fallout, but I've never read them. So, I really need to read the Chrysalis. That's another. Okay, there's too many books for me to read, and I'll just focus on one thing at a time. But what do you peeps think would Idle be in in Fallout? Idle would absolutely be Mr. Handy. No one talks crap about Little Pip's adventure. Oh. Hey, I'm not talking crap about Little Pip's adventure. I'm just saying that Changeling of the Guard might be beating it. So, not talking crap about, just stating facts. Also, that's really loud. Don't pony his no, he'd be one of the background characters. That one background character that no one notices. Exactly. He'd be like Tom a little bit. Not kill me. Do not laugh. Do not laugh. No foal has ever. Do not laugh. No foal has been eaten by a monster while hiding under their sheets. Delusion has some power, but I had to tap to it. I had but to tap it. I had but to tap it. And here is Jerry. No one likes Jerry. Poor Jerry. Do not laugh. No foal has been eaten by a monster while hiding under the sheets. Delusion has some power. I had but to tap it. That doesn't sound like Idle. The train could not kill me. Do not laugh. No foal has been eaten by a monster while hiding under their sheets. Delusion has some power. I had but to tap it. You know, anniversary. It's been like 10 years since you met Topaz, and you haven't mentioned anything. So what are you doing? I blinked. Anniversary? Ponies did all sorts of things to celebrate that required gifts, birthdays, and heartwarming, and yearly celebrations of marriage I knew, but 10 years as friends? I bolted upright. It was precisely the sort of thing Pony celebrated. It was 3 weeks away? I messed up in there, but I wanted to finish it. It walks like an angel, walks like an angel, looks like an angel, talks like an angel, but I got wise. You're the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are the devil in disguise. Down, 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 down. Ah, man, that movie is so good. My nephew loved that movie so much as a kid. Like, I have the entire thing pretty much memorized. If anyone's lost, let me know. It's Lilo and Stitch. Love the music in that. Hawaiian roller coaster, oh, so good. But okay, how do you guys keep getting me on this tangent? You're not even talking that much. I swear to God, you best release an album by the end of this with you just singing, or I will end you. I mean, I released a Christmas song last year. And I was planning on doing something for V's birthday, but then I got busy and I couldn't finish it. Also, I'm polling for this year's Christmas song. Which one shall I do? Shall it be Melakaliki Maka is a thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day? I need more singing of Drunk Boy. But yeah, I might run a poll later, but like, give me ideas. What do you guys want to hear from? What do you want to hear from Idol and whoever you want singing? Oh man, please, for love, don't put Shining as as an option, or Bold. I can't do their voices consistently enough. Far over the misty mountains go, through dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away a break of day to find our long forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the high, the trees like torches blazed with light. Dragons' ire, more fierce than fire. I don't know the whole song. There we go. That's a sneak peek of Misty Mountains, as far as I remembered it. But seriously, Christmas music. I love Christmas music, and I want to keep making this like a yearly thing. It's been great. Where was I? What was I doing before this? Oh, jeez. That is worth a singular clap. Ah, thank you. I appreciate the singular clap. I blinked. Anniversary? Ponies did all sorts of things to celebrate that required gifts. Birthdays and hearts-warming, and yearly celebrations of marriage I knew, but 10 years as being... I blinked. Anniversary? Ponies did all sorts of things to celebrate that required gifts. Birthdays and heartswarming and yearly celebrations of marriage I knew, but 10 years as 10 years as friends? I bolted upright. It was precisely the sort of things that Pony celebrated. It was 3 weeks away? I have done nothing, I murmured, horrified. I have been a fool. You lose. Good day, sir. I really, I don't know why, but I just want Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, to just show up in the story randomly, like as a dream sequence. I think it would just, I don't know why, but it just seems like to fit the kooky theme, especially if it's Idol's first dream. Oh, oh, I, oh, okay. Idol's first dream. Uh, he's terrified but delighted about it at the same time. He's just in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. That is what I think Idol's first dream would be. Surrounded by sweets, but absolutely terrified at the thought of it. What type of video games do I play? I don't really play video games all that often. There's two video games that I highly recommend to anyone who wants to have a good time. One of them's very popular, the other one's kind of obscure. Uh, this is horrendously unsanitary. You're licking candy off the floor. It was not a complaint. Oh man, it's so good. I played two games. I played two games, and they're my favorites because they're the only ones I've played. I love Minecraft, which you know, it's just a fun time, especially with friends. And the other one I play is called Tadpole Trouble, which is an action side scroller adventure game. No, it's an adventure side scroller game that's based on music, and it's pretty much a rhythm game, but it's amazing with what it does. Basic concept of the story is that you're just a little tadpole who has to find their way home, and every stage you're swimming through, the obstacles in your path is the sheet music for the stage that you're playing. Is the sheet music of the stage that you're playing, and it's so good. It's so much fun, and I got really attached to Baton, the name of the tadpole, by the end. And I'm like, oh, I cried at it. That was like the only game I've actually cried at. It was so wonderful. But yeah, Minecraft and Tadpole Trouble. Highly recommend to check it out. I might pop a link into the Discord later because it's just so good. It's so good. Oh, that's right. I have also played the Halo games. I forgot about it. It's been so long since I played Halo. Okay, so I've also played the Halo games, except for Halo 5 and Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3, whichever one that has Shepard in it. I can't remember. No, Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare. I think that was the name of it. But so good. All those games are good. Yep. All those games are good, but Tadpole Trouble was the most emotionally invested I've ever gotten in a game. And it was completely kickstarted too. And it was wonderful. It was a fantastic game by a fantastic comic artist who actually did like the last few issues of Nintendo Power before it closed down. He did the too bad, Waluigi time. And like the uh, Waluigi singing, that it's the same guy that did that, but he made a whole game. He made two games actually. He made Tabble Treble and Nefarious. I've never played Nefarious, but I heard it's good. But Tabble Treble's like one of my top games. No, Shepard is in Mass Effect, but there's also a person in Modern Warfare that's also named Shepard. He was like a good guy in one of the games, and then the next game he's a bad guy, and you throw a knife and it kills him after he tries to kill you and your entire squad, and he just wants to nuke the world after he lost everyone. So, typical bad guy thing. He killed Ghost though, and I will never forgive that. You don't kill Ghost. Ghost is adorable. Actually, Ghost is also the name of that dog, but no, Ghost is a bad is an awesome dude, and he died way too young. Anyway, you get me on too many tangents. I should just rename this to Tangent Away. I haven't even finished this chapter yet. I'm never going to finish this chapter. Soap on a rope. But thing is that I'm not a fan of soap. Ghost is the best. Ghost is the best. And I won't be hearing nothing from none of you about anything different. Ghost will always be in my heart. You'll be my heart, no matter what they say. From this day on, now and forevermore. Probably ought to, he responded. Thought about asking Cadence officially to get engaged for ours, but I'm pretty sure there's a law about how long a princess can be engaged. There is. You should do it anyways. It is improper to make a lady wait. She tell you to say that? She tell you to say that? She tell you to say that? Where is Shining's voice? Watch well after the stream. You haven't posted anything in post videos and whatnot in live stream related chat in the Discord, or else I won't be able to see it. Because YouTube takes down links without even me telling it to. So, so if you want me to see it, put it in the live stream related chat. Anyway, she tell you to say that? She tell you to say that? She tell you to say that? I have been given ample coaching to ensure that you get moving in the matter from many sources. Your mother, Katie herself, Katie again, through Topaz. I have been given ample coaching to ensure you get moving in the matter from many sources. Your mother, Katie herself, Katie again through Topaz, Honeydew, Wispy, Bold, and Princess Celestia. Shining fell off his bed, book forgotten. Not a military monster manual, but one with numbers. Shining fell off his bed, book forgotten. Not a military monster manual, but one with the numbers. What did she say? Nothing I will repeat, I told him disapprovingly. Nothing I will repeat, I told him disapproving. You know full well that we do not reveal that which is discussed in confidence. Oh, Halo versus Call of Duty. Halo definitely wins versus Call of Duty. Halo's a good time. Favorite Halo game is Reach. Reach is so much fun. My brothers and I had this game mode that we'd always play on a Forge World. We would call it Oh God, Why? And we would call it such things because it was something that would be done when we just want to laugh until Our sides hurt. So what it was is that it was uh, gravity hammers and rocket launchers only, bottomless clip, triple overshields, uh, highest sprint speed, and jump for the moon. and 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 death and was death match too. So you're just there trying to blow up. So you're just running across the giant Ford World field in like half a second, swinging wildly with your gravity hammer to try and get someone, or jumping up over the entire field, raining death from above with a rocket launcher. Oh, anyone who did that was immediately picked off by another rocket launcher, with someone who decided to stop, and it was just chaos and mayhem, and it was amazing. Although I think my favorite game mode was Infection in that, but oh god, why, it was just so much fun. It's just the best. It's just the best ever. Nothing I will repeat, I told him, disapproving. You know full well that we do not reveal that which is discussed in confidence. You know full well that we do not reveal that which is discussed in confidence. V, you're making me do tongue twisters here. Nothing I will repeat, I told him, disapproving. You know full well that we do not reveal that which is discussed in confidence. Katie discusses all sorts of things with you. I nodded. To my everlasting horror, please marry her before you both go insane. Working on it. Shining gave me a roguish grin, and he was, I had to admit, the four of us were among the fittest, most well-trained of the Guard, and Shining could list every major military operation in Equestrian history, every captain of the Guard to the time before Equestria existed. His captaincy was fast approaching. Oh, gosh. What was even that? Same. Working on it. Shining gave me a roguish grin, and he was, I had to admit. The four of us were among the fittest and most well-trained of the Guard, and Shining could list every major military operation. I call it difficulty tweak. Shining gave me a roguish grin, and he was, I had to admit. The four of us were among the fittest and most well-trained of the Guard, and Shining could list every major military operation in Equestrian history, every captain of the Guard to the time before Equestria existed. His captaincy was fast approaching. Why not give both that advice? Because Wispy will tie me in a knot if I spoil her fun. I hesitated. Before I go on my business, could you look into these star boxes? Sure thing. You want one? They're all the rage. Mom was going to get Dad one as a joke till she saw the price. Seems like they keep going up. Your father, who works in the observatory and sees stars literally every night? Yeah, not that funny. Seriously though, if you want one for Topaz, I can see about getting one before they go up again. Just find out what people know about them. All right. He offered a hoof, and I gave him a quick bro hoof in return. Good luck. Hope the train doesn't eat you. I glared. Some things just weren't funny. I finally finished the chapter I didn't finish last night. Oh my gosh. Save it before my computer inexplicably crashes. Whew. For those wanting to get in the discussions, but remember the comments are an author's food pet. I got a new fan art, been sitting on it for a while. And like I always do, I upload every fan art. I haven't seen this one yet. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I haven't seen this one. Okay, this is going in live stream related chat for anyone that's following. Moo, I say. Oh, that's so good. And it only took 69 minutes. Nice. Oh, man. Man, I need to rename this stream. It's definitely not. I have only 45 minutes left, and I haven't even started the next chapter. Oh my gosh. You guys were good at your job tonight. Scary good, I should say. You had me at every turn, and for that I congratulate you. But now, let's get on with the next chapter, shall we? I haven't played Payday. But I heard it's really fun. No. Oh, no. Not that one. And that is 5 seconds of complete silence. Alright. So... Oh, I should probably save. Chapter 43. Musical notation. Piano and polka. There we go. Alrighty then. Chapter 42. Musical notation, piano and polka. The cocoon behind me pulsed. 6 hours, 15 minutes. I was not putting off my train ride until the last minute. I simply had other things to do, to prepare. My orders had been clear and relayed well. Surveyed the town, examined the inhabitants, patronized various businesses, but the most important detail and the most interesting was the final. I was not to reveal my orders to the citizens, and especially not to Twilight herself, even if speaking with her was entirely allowed and possibly encouraged. The princess was being downright queenly. Patronize. I said it right, patronize. Yeah. I did words good. The princess was being downright queenly. I wasn't sure what to make of that. The princess was being downright queenly. I wasn't sure what to make of that. It did mean, however, that I could not carry my armor. Such a thing would reveal that I was on duty and under some form of orders. I carefully scraped at the bowl on my potting wheel with a talon, then plucked a feather to carefully wipe a stray bit of debris away. This design was coming along wonderfully. I wasn't sure what it meant, but ponies could come up with something. Wind, perhaps? Stop it! There we go. My gosh, it just would not stop. Google, get out of here. You're not wanted. Not right now, anyway. And I know it's labeled as chapter 40 as 43 musical notation, but that's just because so I can keep it in order for my personal records. It is technically chapter 42. Because vignettes are not a chapter, no matter how much hearsay the desk spouts. Six hours, 20 minutes. 6 hours, 20 minutes. A hoof burst. A hoof burst through the cocoon. The cocoon, eh? I am not wrong, desk. If you look at it from a certain point of view. A certain point of view? Yes, a certain point of view. 6 hours, 20 minutes. A hoof burst through the cocoon. 6 hours, 20 minutes. A hoof burst from the cocoon, followed by a spluttering pony gasping for air. Now that was odd. Cocoons were soothing and provided rest like nothing in the world. Topaz jerked upright, gasping raggedly, eyes wide and frightened, even as she splattered slime all over my workroom. There we go. There's Topaz. It's been a while since we had Topaz in here, isn't it? I can't do it. It's too tight. It's too enclosed. It's too dark. She stared at me, eyes growing still wider. What the buck? Still me, Topaz. I tilted my head, working my new beak. I didn't quite dislike it, but speech was slightly off. The complete lack of lips as opposed to chitinous ones. Chitinous. I still... Years later, I'm still making that same mistake. Chitinous. The complete lack of lips as opposed to chitinous ones. I need more practice. She dragged her hooves down her face, wiping slime from her mane and eyes. Why the hey are you a griffin? I wanted to work on my pottery while you slept. I had this idea that griffins are more dexterous. The claws are uniquely situated for holding things, and it's easier to manipulate two at once than multiple magic fields. I was right, but the claws needed practice of their own. Still, it held promise. She looked hurt. You said you'd watch me to make sure I was okay. And you were resting within moments of being sealed in. Good morning. No, it's technically chitin, not chitin. Trust me, I've tried so long to try and just pass off chitin and chitinness, but unfortunately it is chitinous. That I will admit is Desk is right on, but the numbering thing, that he is definitely wrong, and anything he says contrary is just plain old heresy. Morning? She looked at the clock. Morning? She looked at the clock, one of the few things I kept in the spare room. Wait, what time is it? Is that right? 7 hours? Topaz, why are you so difficult? Heresy. Heresy, Desk. That's Heresy, Desk. Heresy of the highest order. Morning? She looked over at the clock, one of the few things I kept in this spare room. Wait, what time is it? Is that right? 7 hours? Seven hours? Why can't I do a full Topaz? Idle, there we go. It was a little bit higher. I always forget how high Topaz's voice is. Okay, here we go. Let's take this back from the top. Morning? She looked at the clock, one of the few things I kept in the spare room. Wait, what time is it? Is that right? 7 hours? Hours? Oh gosh, can I not pull off a Topaz tonight? Hold on, let me try to see if I can do something about something like this. Man, I cannot do a high vocal. 7 hours? I guess that's what we have. 7 hours? 7 hours? There we go. She just has to have my voice drop in the middle of it. Only 6. Do you feel rested? I feel... She paused, then pulled a face, twisting her head as she molded over. I feel great, now that I don't feel like I'm going to die. I tried not to puff up. I really did. Don't you start. Yes, great night's sleep, I'll give you that, but, this stuff is everywhere. She pulled herself free from the cocoon with what ponies would consider a rude noise. And it's... Ooh. And it... Ooh, that's soft, she marveled, taken back, as she tried to wipe more of the slime from her coat. You didn't mention that. That's not bad. I've never really considered that it might have an effect on fur in the first place, as I do not have any when I use my own cocoon. I considered. Leftover digestive enzymes, perhaps? Yep, didn't need to hear that. Taking a shower. And with that, she fled to the stairs, trailing cocoon slime. I sighed, but I had to relent. Perhaps cocoons simply weren't for every pony. However, I decided more firmly, if Topaz was to track slime up the stairs, she could be the one to clean it up. It was one of the established rules, and if she wasn't going to use it, I carefully settled my unfinished work into the cocoon. At very least, it would remain workable when I returned. The train obeyed its handlers, so the day began well enough. I had created a rough itinerary of the ponies I needed to meet. Mare was to be avoided. This was an official investigation. I would find my bearings, look for the elements, and patronize as many stores as my allowance of bits would allow. Still, I had no desire to taunt the beast with its failure to consume prey, and made my escape from the platform as quickly as I was able. I was distracted shamefully, but that was no excuse for running headlong into a Pegasus flying at ground level, causing her to crash to the ground and scattering her saddlebag's contents of envelopes and what looked to be a sandwich of some sort. Oh, dear order, I had accosted a mailmare. The fines for such a thing were prohibitive, but only for a willing negligence or malice. I resolved to pay the fine regardless as soon as I returned to Canterlot because I should have damn well known better. I was, after all, an officer of the law. It was my duty to set an example. I scooped up the disorganized mail, resorted it by address, and then offered it to the stunned gray Pegasus, and she started as her right eye seemed to roll about. Man. Derpy, yes. There must always rule of the internet. I don't know which one. If it has pony in it, it must involve Derpy in some way. Derpy, our dear Lord and Savior. The giver of muffins. Oh. An example. I scooped up the disorganized mail, resorted it by address, and offered it to the stunned gray Pegasus, and started as her right eye seemed to roll about to stare in different directions before settling on me. I confess I may have stared. It was a fascinating ability. Most ponies could only look in one general direction. To be able to see all oncoming threats, this was a pony to be respected clearly. Ma'am, are you all right? I have to create a voice for Derpy now? Oh, this was not in the contract. I did not realize how bad this was going to get. But now I have to create Rarity, Derpy, and Pinky in the same chapter? This is unacceptable conditions. Huh. Okay. So Derpy. Derpy is adorable. How do I do a derp? Help me out. I need to know how to do a derp. Can you help me figure out how to do a derp? Because I don't know how to do a derp. Let's see. You have to not know what went first. Yeah, first off, you have to not know what went wrong. I just don't know what went wrong. I don't know if this is appropriate voice for Derpy, but I guess I have no other choice now. What voice was I going to use this for anyway? I was going to use this voice for something. I'm not entirely sure. But I might just be able to do something about it? Like this? Is that a thing I can do? I just don't know what went wrong. Careful, Derpy. Now careful. Poor Derp. Poor Derble, or sorry, Muffins. She said muffins. That must define her entire personality. Put more simpleton into it. Oh, that's mean, Desk. And probably heresy. I just don't know what went wrong. There we go. It's kind of like Topaz, but different, slightly. And just a few degrees off from being just actually wispy. V, you better not put Wispy and Derpy in the same conversation, or else it will get confusing fast. I just don't know what went wrong. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it down too derpy. No, heresy is not recognizing my vignettes as chapters. But they aren't. And you should know this, Mr. English Major. It says it right here on Google. Does not count as chapter. I can already feel my brain melting. Ah, man. Only melting just now? Man, I have failed you, Sloth. Usually the brain melts at the first hour mark. Your count is wrong. My count is accurate. Because I am the one who counts. I am the one who counts. Go ahead. Say my name. Your count is wrong. Your face is wrong. Well, I already knew that my face was wrong. This is an established fact. People have always said that I just have the face for radio, and now I found my proper place. So, let's do this thing. If you voice a character in this thing as Walter White, I will pay you money. Oh, that might actually replace my Lord Deface. Then, because I don't know how Walter White sounds, so this might be a very big challenge. Go ahead, say my name. That just sounds like the dramatic narrator, generic dramatic narrator. Go ahead, say it. You're goddamn right. Oh, man. I will be... But how shall I do this? How shall I... But first, after Derp. Baking Bads. Oh, no. I am the one who bucks. Yes, that's great. Linked by gleeful cackling. My brain is already 100% liquid. Welcome, MQ. MQ. Or welcome, Q. There we go. So, let's see. Now I'm trying to, and I've only been here like 20 minutes. Yeah, that tends to happen. But, but Walter White can, uh, Walter White can wait for a, a different day. Uh, but first off, how do I do a derp? I need to figure out how to do a derp first before I can figure out how to do a Walter White. And just Applejack's, just Walter White, inexplicably. Ooh, nice. I'll look at it after the stream. But yes, Walter White might replace Lord Deface. The voice I already had picked out for Lord Deface. Because there's not too many, like, male changeling Oh! He'll be the guard. That's who Walter White will be, is the guard. I already needed to make a gruff sounding guard. Now I have the perfect voice for it. Thank you. Thank you so much. But now on to Derpy. Okay, let's see. This is Topaz's voice, so I can't do it too close to here. Okay. There we go. I think I will settle on this. I keep hitting my mic. I think I might settle on this for Derpy. I don't know. I think I might just settle. Yeah, settle this for Derpy. It sounds like a Derpy. Doesn't that sound like a Derpy? I feel like it sounds like a Derpy. Derp 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 derp. Derp. I just don't know what went wrong. Topaz's voice, but slower. I could probably do that. Yeah. There we go. Yes, this will be Derpy. Oh, I'm fine. I just wasn't watching. I understood. She was on the lookout for dangers while doing her duties. I had disrupted not one, but two tasks. My bad. Not at all, ma'am. I was trying to get away from the train. I admitted. I still felt a hint of shame at my fears. Every pony told me that trains weren't alive, and on some level I knew I believed them. The horn screamed and I flinched. On some level, yes. On every other level, however, they struck me as a vicious predatory leviathans, and it was only a matter of time before they grew tired of their hideous game. Yeah, I messed up so many times. Trying to get away from the train. Not at all, ma'am. I was. And then. Not at all, ma'am. I was trying to get away from the train. I admitted. I still felt a hint of shame at my fears. Every pony told me that the trains weren't alive, and on some level, I knew I believed them. The horn screamed, and I flinched. On some level, yes. On every other level, however, they struck me as a vicious predatory leviathans, and it was only a matter of time before they grew tired of their hideous game. She nodded sagely. Yeah, the whistle is really loud on the platform. Yeah, the whistle is really loud on the platform. Still, I noted a cart of apples and various baked goods, the pony inside giving me a displeased look. Clearly, my unintended assault had not gone unnoticed. I gestured in its direction. If I may, I'd like to replace your lunch. Ooh, apple crumb. I really shouldn't. The longing belayed any desire to resist, and we had a pleasant conversation before our orders were ready. As a perk of our meeting, if anyone would know their way around Ponyville, who better than a postal worker? Alright, there we go. Okay, I have a half an hour, and we still haven't For so I still just begun this chapter. Alright. Man, you guys did a great job. Not only did you distract me from finishing that one chapter fairly early, but also to the point where I'm going to have to do another part 2 for this chapter. At least it wasn't another part 2 for the last chapter. Your guys are good, but not that good. My name may be fragile, but I'm not that fragile. Default dance. Do 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 do. I only know 2 dances. I think it's the Charleston and not the Charleston. The and the and Orange Justice. I don't even know what default dance looks like, to be honest. I might have to look it up later. The directions the mailmaker provided were surprisingly apt. The Carousel Boutique was a strange building by pony standards, but eyeing the strange pony shapes speared on the second floor, I decided that Topaz should see the decor. Then again, she might decide to put it in her... Then again, she might decide to put her largest insects outside. Stingsley would be likely to deter unwanted guests, or any guests at all, I supposed. Finishing off my apple... Ah, crap, I wasn't ready. Why did I restart it? Nope. There we go. Bloop. Then again, she might decide to put her largest insects outside. Stingsley would be likely to deter one... Then again, she might decide to put her largest insects outside. Stingsley would be likely to deter unwanted guests, or any guests at all, I supposed. Finishing off my apple... Not apple. It's a crumble tot. Where's the lamb sauce? Finishing off my apple... Finishing off my crumble top muffin with some relish. I made note for the Finishing off my crumble top muffin with some relish. I made a note for the princess. Buy some apples. Good enough. Buy some apples. Still, one of the elements of harmony lived and worked here. Meeting her and patronizing. Why do they sound so familiar? So similar. They don't make any sense why they would sound that similar. Still, one of the elements of harmony... I might have to cut the stream early. I don't think my voice is going to cooperate with me for the rest of this time. Still, one of the elements of harmony who lived and worked here, meeting her and patronizing her business would likely go hoof and hoof, a most prestigious place to start, as I wasn't quite sure. Patronize. But patronize sounds really bad. Patronizing sounds worse, but they look both the same. Still, one of the elements of harmony lived and worked here. Meeting her and patronizing her business would likely go hoof and hoof. A most prestigious place to start, as I wasn't quite sure that Sweep Apple Acres was officially part of Ponyville. I'd only visit there if I was absolutely unable to find the element of honesty. The others, I was to understand, could be found around Ponyville on most days. Rarity. Oh my gosh. You're not going to survive, Rarity. I mean, you're not wrong. Darling, I think I have the perfect accent for Rarity. I just have to produce it in something that seems something that seems elegant. I have been trying to practice for rarity for ages. It's just the other main six that I have worries about. I just have to pronounce. I just need to actually use diction in everything that I do now. Try French accent. I, you know, to be honest, I'm gonna just try this accent. That rarity is just gonna be a Southern hick the entire time, because it's just fitting, don't you know? Just fitting, don't you know? Just run it through Google Translate in French. Oh, just speak French for rarity. Speak French and enter. Come in. Gosh, this is going to be wonderful. Darling, I see you seem to be in the market for a saddlebag. Not that one. It would be simply garish on your coat. No. Something in silver or black. Maybe a midnight blue, even. There are so few ponies here in Ponyville with dark coats. It's a shame, but there's only so much floor space to work with. There's only so much face to work with. Do for to give the mess. I'm still recovering from the paraspirits. Terrible things. Just terrible. Just slides more. I'm still recovering from the paraspirits. Terrible things. A musical. Come in, was the only response to my careful knock, and with that I let myself in. If anything, the inside of the place was even more odd. There were stuffed ponies that seemed very close to lifelike. It was a little bit squashed there. It's something I tend to do from time to time. I don't really have control of it in most spaces. If anything, the inside of the place was even more odd. If anything, the inside of the place was even more odd. There were stuffed ponies that seemed very close to life size, sitting on large metal spikes mounted in various places around the room. One was wearing a particularly dashing hat, very much sitting on large metal spikes mounted in various places around the room. Scottish, he says, then pulls a Dublin accent out of his arse. Thing is, I don't know where Dublin is, so I don't know how close is that to Scottish. Or is that an Irish thing? I'm not entirely sure. Or is it close to Bristol? To be honest, I don't know much about the various places in Europe. I can barely learn the geography of the US, let alone the geography of everywhere else. I'll give you a clue. It's a different island. Scottish, Irish, what's the difference, really? It's carp. Oh, gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, we gone. I'm a smack you. So it's not near Bristol, then? Then where is it, per se? Because I only know things where they are in relation to others. Like, I know Bristol is somewhere near London, and then London is somewhere near Wales, and then Wales is just somewhere else entirely. In all honesty, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like you say, I'm pulling things out of my arse. But I do love a good I do love a good show on the BBC. Doctor Who, fantastic. And lots of YouTubers are surprisingly... there's a lot of YouTubers that I like are surprisingly European. And I don't even know what accent I'm doing anymore. So, bear with me as I butcher many, many accents. Scottish, he says that wasn't. Oh, that's so good. Ah, you showed me a map of Ireland. Hi-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti. So where's Glasgow? I know where I think I know where Glasgow is. So Northern Ireland isn't technically Ireland? Oh, no. So is Northern Ireland just not Ireland? Is it just to the south? Or is it to the west of the UK? And I don't understand any of I know Dublin. Ah, there's Dublin. I can already hear the heat coming in. Cork, you got a whole territory called Cork. Cork's nice. I've never been there myself, but is that where you get corkboard from? And do they grow cork trees there? Is that why it's called Cork, or is it something else that I'm entirely messing up? Carlow and Waterford. Ah, I've heard of Waterford. I've not heard of most of these. Westport. I've heard of Westport. Well, yeah, I don't see a Glasgow. Where be a Glasgow? Is that just in the UK? I hate speech. I can already hear the comments coming in. Oh man, the fiery comment section. Oh yeah. To be honest, I never really done an Irish accent all too often. I usually tend to go more towards the Russian one, but you know what? I think I can do an Irish accent pretty well. And I don't know how often your accent changes. I'm guessing quite a bit, considering that you said I pulled a Dublin one. Is Dublin very different from one in Limerick or Innis or Westport? Does accents just really that change that much in Europe? I see. I have no idea. I've never been outside of I've hardly been outside of my state, let alone outside the country. I think I might plan on. Oh, here we go. There's a lot of comments. Why'd you post a pic of Scotland? The fact that I already had this should tell you something. Well, we do have some pictures that saved for the years and will eventually be relevant for something. No, this is a picture that has to be refined at least twice. Ireland, Scotland, England, same thing, really. Because someone I knew just could not tell the difference. Also, firstly, F you. Laughs in British. Oh, this is beautiful. I love the anarchy. I have American accent, even knowing that I'm from New Zealand. Does New Zealand have an accent? What's a New Zealand accent sound from? I need to look this up. And what kind of American accent do you have? Because there's various. Oh, now I get it. But you have a Western accent, a Midwestern accent, a Southern or an Eastern accent. Trust me, all very different. Believe me, my accent is somewhat Midwest Western. Is a Western accent. Yeah, let's just say chair bar. Or city bar? Is that? I don't know. But Southern accent, everyone can do a Southern accent. Not many people can do an Eastern accent though. But Midwestern is probably the plainest accent that you'll ever get. Like, it's no surprise that a lot of people like to hear news anchors and actors from the Midwest, just because we don't have an accent. Although although it's not true in every case, but I heard that on the most part we just don't have enough of an accent that people can understand us a little bit better. All right, enough fanning about with these accents. I did mean to finish, at least get to more of the rarities part before we head out for the night. Oh gosh, 9 minutes. Let's get cracking, shall we? Better understand Have you tried to listen to a Scottish news anchor? I've heard stories about Scottish news anchors, and their accent's just so thick that I'm like, are they even speaking English? No, but now I will. Exactly, Q. One was wearing a particularly dashing hat, very like one worn by the hero of one of the plays we'd been. Particularly dashing hat, very like one. That can't be right. That can't be proper grammar. The desk. This sentence is not proper grammar. How is that proper grammar? Can anyone read that without getting tongue-tied? It is indeed proper. I will. I very much doubt is had, good sir. Super archaic and yet proper. Very like one. Who speaks like that? I know idle, but seriously. Secondly, hello, South Canadians. One was wearing a particularly dashing hat, very like one worn by the hero of one of the plays we'd been to see recently. The urge to try it on surprised me. The rest of the faux ponies were wearing random other bits, including a set of saddlebags I dismissed as too flashy and complicated to be properly sturdy. A mixed review, then. I wish Canadian was part of Michigan sometimes. I'm just going to keep on going in this accent. It fits naturally. Well, I couldn't find a heavily accented Scottish news anchor, but I did see someone pronounce flawlessly. Yes, that does seem very accurate to what I've heard from my desk, or more importantly, now my hand. Now I get to see a rarity. Me pronouncing rarity. Can you tell that I watch a lot of UK's things? Because I don't know if it's coming off like that. Is it my accent? I don't even think I have one right now. Or if I do, it's not exactly what I'm aiming for. Alrighty then, let's get cracking on rarity. Let's get cracking on rarity then, shall we? Darling, I see you. Oh, what's with Brazil? I already am in Brazil. Brazil shall come to you, literally. What is why is Brazil now taking over the chat? My brother went to Brazil. He had a grand old time. He went to Sao Paulo for 2 years. Knows flawless Portuguese. In fact, I remember one story. He was talking to my grandfather, and while he was talking to him, he just slipped into a Portuguese. Without even knowing it. And it took my grandfather it took him like a couple of sentences before he realized that my brother wasn't even speaking English anymore. Brazil's the world. No, South America is the world. Brazil's only part of it. But mostly it's South America. He knows Portuguese and now he's learning Spanish. Which he said there's a lot of similarities between Spanish and Portuguese, to the point where it's kind of funny how similar they are. Even the words in English are kind of similar to Portuguese. Ah, okay, your name's Detective on Discord. Nice. Do you still want me to call you Sloth, or do you want me to call you Detective? I can call you either, I don't mind. Now, can someone explain the joke that I'm too Brazilian to understand? Darling, I seem... Darling, I see... Darling, I see you seem to be in the market for a saddlebag. In this... Darling! And call you Detective Sloth. Alrighty then, Detective Sloth. And this must be Rarity herself, roughly Twilight the Younger's age, white-coated with a rich purple mane. She was, I realized with some displeasure, every bit as posh as the nobility of Canterlot. I resigned myself to fate. Pfeh, not that one. It would simply be garish on your coat. I just want to call you a name that you feel comfortable with, whether that be Sloth or Detective. I'm not too picky. I'm not even sure, because I just want everyone to have a fantastic good old time. And I can't have that if I'm not even calling you a name that you like. I make nicknames for everyone, but I also respect that people have nicknames for themselves. Such as for me, people call me Nox or Equi all the time, and I'm fine to both. We shall call you the We shall call you and I don't know about, and you will like it. If you can call me and pronounce that perfectly, then I will consider going by it. But until then, the ball is in your court, good sir. Not that one. It would simply be not that one. It would be simply garish on your coat. No. Something in silver, black, maybe a midnight blue even. She considered me, eyes seeming to sparkle. There are so few ponies in Ponyville with dark coats. It's a shame, but there's only so much floor space to work with. Do forgive the mess. I'm still recovering from the parasite's terrible things. Alrighty then, Sloth. That shall remain your nickname. I looked around, bewildered, then spotted amidst the otherwise pristine business. I looked around, bewildered, then spotted amidst the otherwise pristine business a cat swatting at a bobbin of golden thread. I looked around, bewildered, then spotted amidst the otherwise pristine business a cat swatting at a bobbin of golden thread. Oh, it's already 8, and alrighty then. I think I'll cut it here, just to keep to the 2-hour time limit that I have on myself. That's all from me tonight. If you have any questions for me, be sure to ask them in the Discord. I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as I can. You can find me in the Discord most days, although, funny enough, I never post there because I'm just a lurker at heart. And I shall read Shattered Skies when I'm good and ready for it, desk. And I'll hear no further of this. But yes, I'm always in the chat. Just let me know, and I'll be sure to answer as quickly as possible, whether it be at lore or just having a grand old time. I'm open to any and all questions. But without further ado, I think it's time for me to be heading. So I shall see you. I shall see you next week. And actually, next week this time. Not just a. Next time I see you. Next week is the plan, and I'm sticking to it. Alrighty then. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Have a good night.